Take me back to tank meta. And that was said by Jimmyneutron after this game. Mix'90, also in this game, said shittiest meta since the busted HE values for RT and bombs. Hello and welcome to this casted game played as part of the SDL Monthly Tournament for the month of August. We're on the it begins with M, the Rick and Morty update. What's it called? Mortier, the Mortier patch. And this is between Mix'90 playing as the 4th Mod Schützendivision, which you don't see a lot, which is why I'm casting this game. And he's up against Jimmyneutron playing as the 35Y. A lot of people have been saying 35Y best division in the game. I don't think so. Maybe back in the good old days when they had infinite T64 BVs, but since then the availability on them has been nerfed. And yeah, we're in the zombie meta, and 35Y gets expensive infantry that doesn't have a lot of HP. Anyway, let's cast the game. Start with the deployment, starting with Mix'90. On the left here, we've got an FS Jaeger, an FS Jaeger Metis, and a forward deployed Strela. So they're going to here. Presumably the Metis is going to this building. Yep. And the Strela's going to this building. Yep. And the regular Jaeger's going to that building, just to stop anybody coming down this road. Moving slightly further left, we've got forward deployed SPG-9. I apologise. Presumably that's going to this building with the Metis, and the sharpshooters going here. Yep. In mid, we've got quite an aggressive deployment here going for this building. It's quite aggressive, particularly against the forward deployed division. He will get there at the same time as you. Like, he'll get to about here, so if he unloads, he can get that transport. But yeah, we've got an FS SPG-9, which no doubt is going to there. Yep. And the Strela probably going to there as well. Nope, that was going to here. And now FS Jaeger presumably going to here. Yes, and then the sharpshooters going there. On the right, well, might as well talk about these. So we've got one regular Igla. This is going to here. So very anti-heal deployment. One CV. That's going to Delta, Echo, then presumably to Alpha. And then two of these AA helicopters. So the DDR AA helicopters are... A lot of people don't like using them, but ever since 4th came out, Derek basically wrote the book on 4th, and he would always open 2 AA helicopters. A lot of people look at the stats and they get upset. 40% accuracy, 3 HE, ooh, it's never killing anything. What's got 3 HP? Nothing. You got to get 2 hits, you've only got 2 missiles, you got 40% accuracy. The real kicker is the suppression. As you can see, the suppression is 540. Whatever you hit gets routed immediately. So that's what you're bringing it for. You're not bringing it to kill the baddies, you're bringing it to hit them once and rout them. And you should get a hit, and you open 2 in case you don't. Compare that to the Soviet one that's got the Iglas. The Iglas actually hit things. It's got better accuracy, it gets 4 of them. But the suppression's way less. On the right here, another sharpshooters are going to here, and SPG-9 going to here. On the far right, we've got SPG-9, presumably that's going there. Yep, and the FS Jaeger going to the far right there. So that covers it for Mix'90. Let's switch to Jimmy's deployment. So we got UAZ SPG-9 spam. These used to be 30 points, or at least 35. Now they're 45. So another reason why I don't think this division's S tier. I think it's a solid A tier division, but I don't think it's S tier. These are too expensive to spam very much. So he's sending one of them down here. The main bulk of his attack is on the left here. So let's talk BMD1. What the hell's a BMD1? It used to be, before the Vincent update, that everybody would bring their infantry in BMD2s. BMD2 is a BMD1, except better because it has an autocannon. Except now autocannons are hot garbage. They were reduced to about 1/4 of their previous HE, and then in the most recent update, the Morty update, they got a 5% buff. Whoa, incredible. And everybody's like, well, it's fixed. It's not. Try using them. So most people just go for the BMD1 now because this is called a Grom. It's got this heat gun as opposed to the autocannon. It's still garbage, but it's better than an autocannon. And that's another reason why 35Y is not S tier, because it relies on the BMD2s, because the BMD1s are a bit garbage, and the BMD2s are now also garbage. So, you know, what's it all about? Difficult to justify. Anyway, he's attacking down here, as we can see, so he's got two BMD1s with Desantno-Shturmovaya in them. Yet another reason why I don't think 35Y is S tier is that their mainline infantry just doesn't have a lot of HP for their price. Like, it's 45 points, shock, great, but it's only got 6 strength. You can get Jaeger with 11 men for 45 points, and they're a lot more useful. Just because right now it's all about tanky infantry, just sitting around being tanky. He's got two BMD1s, and you know everybody's sort of going over to here, so we're not going to speculate too much. So these two SPG9s are going to there and there, I suppose. Spoke about the BMD1s, they're unloading there. He's got a supply. And then two Spetsnaz original paper maches. These are Special Forces anti-tank team, 4 strength. The RPG-29's very good, very good. It's sort of like a bad Appalachian. And then he's got two regular Spetsnaz. These guys are a lot more tanky, so 12 HP, 85 points, and they've got this RPO with 4 rounds in it. And they've got a lot of SMGs. So infantry, these aren't SMGs. These are carbines, or carbines if you're a mouth breather. So all infantry damage output was like massively nerfed in Vincent. That's why everybody's so tanky now, except the carbines. And these guys have carbines, so they have the old infantry damage, which is still garbage, but it's better than it's better than everybody else's. So these guys are pretty scary. Generally, people take care of them with bombers or helicopters because they're very difficult to kill, given their high HP and their reasonable damage output. And then he's got an Igla, it's a forward deployed Igla, and a Desantno-Shturmovaya Metis. Metis pretty good now because the suppression's gone up. They were good before, they're even better now, and he's backing that up with a rocket helicopter. So this has got 122mm rockets as opposed to these 80mm ones, but it's only got 20. Now it's got these Kokons, which are sort of reasonably good ATGM. He's open 1 CV, same as his opponent, and his CV is actually not going to Charlie at all, it's just going straight to Alpha. And then we've also got a 2-man sniper team, the Sniperi Spetsnaz here. Presumably they're going to there. That's really, really optimistic, actually, particularly against 4th, because they've got their own forward deployment. And his Metis is going to the same building as that enemy FS Jaeger squad. My money's on the FS Jaeger because they have a close range RPG, whereas the Metis has a minimum range of 350 meters. Moving to the right, we've got Desantno-Shturmovaya Metis going to here, and an SPG-9 going down this road, and 50 car rip-off NSV going to this building as well. So these are actually pretty good. These are one of the few things that actually stops infantry. So they're pretty good, worth having in your deck. So that's it for the deployments, and we'll cast the game. And I'll cast it from Jimmy's perspective. Sodium chloride. Right, so the game starts. Everybody's going to where we said they were going to go. I'd like to take this opportunity to point out this MiG-29A here. And yeah, I really do like reading all your comments, so please leave a comment. I love reading all your comments. And that's up against MiG-29, exactly the same, but without the A, except this is 2 vet. And Jimmy's microed is AA much better than Mix, because Mix sent his out first, and then he got to the middle of the map and had to turn, and then this guy came out and hit him, but he didn't actually kill him. And these are both still alive. So, you know, this SPG-9's done well, this SPG-9's done well. It managed to get the FS Jaeger in the transport. But now, okay, crucial mistake here. He's unloaded everybody because he's scared of these, because they will kill some of his guys in the transports. And on the one hand, fair enough. On the other hand, you need to get in here. This thing has switched targets. Oh, there's another one behind it, which is going for that one. That's fair enough. Over here, this guy unloaded too early, but I guess because of the Metis he had to. Over here, this Metis has lost to this FS Jaeger. These 2 helicopters, like, it managed to fire all its missiles, that's why this guy's so low. So even though Dark Neutron's managed to kill them both, Mix has taken the ground, and this push has really stalled out here. It's a shame. I mean, if he got the micro to spare, he could load up the Desantno and just get him in here. I think this is an open zone right for the taking, but the longer he walks, the more time Mix has to reinforce. So even Stevens now for Dark Neutron needs to buy another CV, really. It's quite a defensive meta, so you've got the forward deployed stuff at the start. I mean, don't get me wrong, if there's no units there, you can still advance. This Strela with its 40% accuracy tags that, but it'll take 3 shots to kill. He's not got any rockets left, but he has got the Yak B. Oh, that Igloo is going to be a problem though. So he's getting that out of there. 2 vet MiG-29 versus 1 vet. Veterancy doesn't really make a difference, apart from... oh, that was lucky. It increases your stress resistance, which means that if you get hit by a missile on 2 vet as an ASF, you're likely to stay in the fight, whereas in 1 vet, usually you just rout. So Dark Neutron's trying to move up here, but it's a shame, because if he'd managed to get to here, like if he'd fast path this to here, fast path this to here, maybe he already thought there were people here, then he could have locked this down. As it stands, he's sort of losing mid. This is spotted, so he needs to reverse it. There's not sufficient time, so he's lost mid there. He's bought a couple helicopters. He knows about the AA, though, although it is just Igloos, and this one's out of ammo. So 2 of these can overwhelm a manpad quite happily. More AA coming, not really in position. T-55's just to hold the line here. Mix also doesn't know how far up Jimmy is, so that's why he's moving this around there. Although I'd love one in this building to just secure your reinforcement road. So Dark Neutron's moving around here. He's got 1 Igloo, and these Su-22 bombers are pretty good. Not sure why it's going over there. The thing is, they double as helicopter killers, so that's why you got to be really careful with your helicopters, because this can just burst it down in 1 pass. Yeah, particularly if you shoot them in the... was that rear armor? It might have been side armor. But yeah, this just, you know, these Su-22s, best planes in the game, they're supposed to be obsolete by this time period, but ever since their addition, they've been the best planes in the game, just for their cost to performance ratio. They do everything. They got infrared missiles, they got bombs, they got anti-tank stuff. They've got the best guns in the game, tied with the French one. So that's a shame for Dark Neutron, because he spent all these points, but he can't use them because the plane comes and kills him, and he's not got sufficient AA. I don't know what happened to his fighter. He's bought this CV, presumably it'll go straight down here. Could do with moving up that Igloo to here, and also like he could try and get somebody in here, but I mean he doesn't know, right? The thing is, I'm quite surprised by his choice to, like, I can understand putting guys in here, but you need people in this building really, so that you can move up and stop these guys getting in. Obviously he doesn't have infinite points, so I can understand he's got to make decisions. Buying 140 point, yeah, I mean he spent a lot of his income on helicopters, so he's got this track stuff coming. Mix also buying helicopters. And these, because they're 125, I think they used to be 120 actually. Oh no, I see, they're the 82. They can, you can buy 2 of these in a minute. Another bomber coming out, and you see the 4th, pretty ideal at countering 35Y actually, now that I think about it, because it's got the forward deployment component to fight the enemy's forward deployment component, and it's got just infinite Su-22s, which are just designed to kill helicopters, although that one does go down, so it looks like the fighters are back in play now. So he didn't move up this Igloo. I'm not sure how much difference it would have made really, because these 2 still would have been able to burst that down. So Jimmy's lost his commanding lead here. He needs to shoot that recon one. Okay, because if he shoots, yeah, because he's going to die to the helicopters. Although the fighters are back up now. Mix has managed to get up onto this side. He's probably going to come around here to find that CV. Jimmy on a +1 at the moment. He's a little bit behind. This obviously not very useful in there. This is in quite a good position, although it can be bombed. Flying over the Igloos and Strelas, but there's no buck, cub even. There's no cub. So he's flying back over them. Whoa. Oh, okay. So these planes have 20% ECM, and these have 55% accuracy. And that was like, so the first pass they all missed, and then on the second pass all 3 of them hit, because you need 3 hits to get a kill, because it's 4 HE on a 10 HP plane, and so he flied over it thinking I'm fine, and then all 3 of them hit. Air combat in this game is very RNG based, really. I mean, they all missed the first time, they all hit the second time. Yeah, anti-air and air, very RNG based. So this is leaving now. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. And yeah, there's just not enough AA here. Well, I mean, if this guy was in this building, perhaps it'd be better. So Mix on a +1 now, and it's going to be really hard for Desantno-Shturmovaya to get back in here. Although this is open, so we could actually just drive down here. That's a pretty popular one, actually. I mean, he's got to watch out for these igloos. Although this one is actually out of ammo now, so it killed that plane with his last missile. Over here, yeah, the T-55s, like, because these Metis were reduced in cohesion by the helicopter, which they used all his missiles now. 800 supply, that's crazy. This guy's obviously just going to miss lots. Oh, okay. Well, he's dead anyway. So this has to get back, and he could send it up here, but he doesn't. Neither side knows that the other guy doesn't have anybody here, so that's where your well, I say that's where your helicopters come in, but 35Y buying all these helicopters is really not smart into 4th, because you've just got the planes, like all the planes are just going to kill you. So that's what your fighters are for, but it's kind of hard to micro that. Oh, he's got Astrala here. There's Astrala here as well. So yeah, the helicopters are best used in groups. So these are 140, a bit more expensive. There isn't actually that much AA here, and this one's out of ammo, so maybe this will work. Although these Strela 10Ms I think are absolutely broken. 5 HE, 50% accuracy, 50% accuracy on the move, not seedable, and you get like 6 per card or something. It's very silly, it's very silly. Like this one is like 40% on the move. The range is a bit less, but yeah, I think these are too cheap for what they do. Like, there's no counterplay. They can't be seeded, and they've got salve length of 4, so bish bash bosh. Oh, he misses. And they're really good against planes as well. I really don't like it. Although he's missing. He missed again. He's missed again, actually. This does have 20% ECM. But yeah, here we go. Here come the planes. Here come the planes. Uh-oh. The Afghanski's just garbage. That's not going to do anything. And here come the enemy fighters. Although that... Okay, the 1 vet 1 beats the 2 vet 1. Like we said, air is quite RNG dependent. That's down now, actually. So these can be used because the air's gone. So yeah, he's sending them forwards now. This is deploying there. Mix on a +3. It's a shame Jimmy didn't go for this, but I guess, you know, if you don't know what you don't know. Buying this was probably a mistake. Although, how else are you supposed to play 35Y if not with helicopters? Generally, playing aggressive is a mistake. Oh, my takeaway's here. My takeaway was lovely, thank you for asking. Here we are back in the game, and yeah, there's lots of planes coming in now for all these helicopters, and this is kind of the issue with playing into 4th as 35Y. 4th gets a lot of planes. Over here, Mix has realised that there's a gap here and that he can push into that. And yeah, the 35Y doesn't really get good... Excuse me? Doesn't really get good AA. So you're reliant on your fighters, and 4th gets the same fighters as you. There might be 1 vet less, but not a huge deal. Here we go with the Einsatzgruppe pushing in on these Desantno-Shturmovaya. Although with this, so that looks like Desantno-Shturmovaya was going for this CV here, and he didn't manage to get it. Ashenburner is going to get back in there. He is at a +1 for a couple seconds, but he's just lost his CV to that Mort Schützen, and now this is going to neutralize it. So he's going to be on a -3, I think. So BMP ones also get the Grom, and they're like a good BMD one. They're slightly pricier, but the 3 front armor and they get smoke as well. So for 10 more points you get this Malyutka, and you don't have to get one with Malyutka. And you get smoke, and 3 armor is actually kind of a big deal. So yeah, the I am really starting to think that this was something of an outdraft, although Dark Neutron's plan attacking down here was a bit ballsy, and then he ran into those 2 SPG-9s. He didn't really have enough in the centre. Probably would have been better to just defend in this meta, but then, you know, you're defending with 35Y. Ooh, that's some serious RNG there. This guy just beats that jet just cause, even though they're the same jet, except Dark Neutron's is 1 vet more. Yeah, that just happens sometimes. We see the supply coming in now. You notice that this hasn't really been used, right? This was used to supply 1 helicopter half HP, and at this point, I mean, Jimmy's just got nothing left, man. There's this managed to make it round, which is cool. Although this is here. This is another stack, and he's finally going for this now. Although there are actually people here. So like he's definitely lost this side. AT guns, so 4th gets these really good AT guns, because this is now 2,800 meter range, 60% accuracy. Used to be like 40% accuracy. This guy can't do anything about that tank because he, you know, and as soon as he shows himself, he's going to die, so that's pretty rough. Here we go, so he's trying to get back in the middle here. He's left it a bit late, like, is this going to be quite tough for him to get back in there? I mean, these guys should beat this, but it's just infantry is so tanky that in the time it takes him to engage this, Mix will be able to bring up lots of reinforcements. So we got another CV here. This is probably an aggressive one for down here. Bit more AA for this push, so that's good. It can't be bombed as easily. And a T-64B, so this is one of the advantages 35Y gets, is that it gets heavy tanks and the other guys don't. T-64B does not have ERA. There's a new ERA trait on the BV, but this does not have ERA. What is ERA? It's sort of like you put Lego blocks on the front of your tank, and that gives you more HP. This SPG-9's been cut out a little bit. Should have been in like a side shot position, but instead, you know, this T-55's coming down the road, but unfortunate. So these guys are now, you know, for starters, they need to be in the trees. You need to get them in this building, really, but to be honest, the overmatch is pretty big. Like, this is 4 infantry in the open against 4 guys in houses. It comes to plane. He sees this. How does he see that? Oh, probably because of this guy. Yeah. That actually misses. Quite surprising. And yeah, the Stratos get a hit, so it'll be out for a while. The Spetsnaz as well, I'm truly dead, but yeah, Dark Neutron surrenders. That's fair enough, really, given given that. As you could see, he didn't have many. Oh my god, a girl! Oh, that's just my profile picture. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, he didn't really have. You know, he was losing pretty badly, but yeah, I don't know what rank Mix'90 is because that's just my profile. And Jimmy's rank 17. So by no means a bad player. Yeah, I mean he's beaten me lots of times. Mix has beaten me once. I've only played him once though. Although it was really laggy. Although, oh, here we go. Cope's coming out. But yeah, I think it was. I don't know. You tell me. Was it an outmatch in terms of the picks? Do you think 4th is the ideal counter to 35Y? I think it might be actually. Or was it just a misplay from Dark Neutron? You know, Mix went for the middle and Dark Neutron went for that side road, and it didn't really work out for him. Not enough AA, really. Relying on the fighters is fine, but when you've got 3 Igglers getting 3 hits and just taking out one of your fighters, well, what can you do? But yeah, that opener with the SPG-9s wasn't bad. Like he got some stuff with that. But yeah, not enough AA. Like you see, there's a very helicopter heavy game, and 4th is in a better position to kill helicopters with its SU-22 OP nose guns. So yeah, GG. I can't even add him as a friend. Anyway, GG.